coefficients in hockey. They serve for fine evaluation of mid-season standings and remaining schedule strength, and slightly more why and where they come from. Yeah, so personal background, so I'm a chess player, chess master, chess arbiter, tournament director for many years. Coming together with Hockey Stats, Venom, and even building my own website, I'm trying to apply some statistics that are used in chess to evaluate things in hockey. And however strange it might seem, I think I'm getting some results. So, in chess, there are large tournaments that are decided in few rounds, so there is no round robin, and for tiebreakers, there are special metrics that are used to rank players. As we see just from an arbitrary chess tournament that I picked, there is a column TB2. TB1 is the direct encounter, which barely happens. Tiebreak 2 is the Buchholz coefficient. Tiebreak 3 is the Sonneborn-Berger. So the Buchholz coefficient is applicable to situations where each participant played different opposition, and it's just sum of the scores of the opponents. And it's not useful in regular round robins, let's say soccer European, which is just double round robin, everyone plays everyone. But for the NHL, especially during the season, everyone plays different number of games against very different opposition. And so we can compute some kind of coefficient, but we have to calculate sums of points per game and divide it by the number of games played. So the Buchholz is the sum of points per game of the opponents divided by the number of games played by the specific team. And it turns out it's a very good indication of the strength of the opponents played so far. And at the end of the season, it can show which division is actually stronger this season in the NHL. So for about mid-season, we can see in the bottom of the standings, this column is actually the Buchholz coefficient. And we see that although Montreal Canadiens and Vancouver Canucks have the same number of points per game, which is the second column, the Vancouver Canucks had a significantly stronger position, about half hundreds of a coefficient point, which translates in roughly 2 points per game for each opponent they played. So it means that in the 41 games, each opponent of Vancouver Canucks had on average 2 more points at that stage, the measurement is taken, not at the time they played it, than the ones of the Montreal Canadiens. We can also calculate remaining schedule strength just by applying the same principle for the remaining games in the similar way. And there was a very stark indication of that in the last season. If we take around 67 games, we can see that the remaining strength of the St. Louis Blues at that stage is very, very, very weaker than of all the teams next to it. And that's because they had to play 3 times Colorado and 3 times Arizona, while most of the league already played these teams. So no wonder that they actually placed quite higher at the National Predators at the end. The Sonneborn-Berger coefficient is usually used in chess as a round-robin tiebreaker, and it shows the number of points of each opponent multiplied by the outcome of the encounter. So in chess, it's either win, tie, or loss, 1/2 or 0 points. And beating tougher opposition gets rewarded in chess. I'm not agreeing with this approach, because I think a point is as valuable from the top as it's from the bottom position. But we can use it for as a certain metric in the NHL. So once again, we need to adjust for the number of games, and also because we have different outcomes in the NHL, thanks to Mr. Batman. So the coefficient is actually not 1/2 and 0, it's 1, 2/3, 1/3, and 0. And so we can compute the expected Sonneborn-Berger coefficient, and we can compare it to the actual, and how then we see that sometimes we see the teams that were beating the tougher position more often than they should have been, and the other way around too. And I think it's maybe some indication of the roster usage by the coach. Thank you very much.
Let's go to the summary.
Yeah.
So I did screw up last time. I read my list wrong.